So, what truly makes a workplace safe? I mean, beyond just the obvious stuff, the common sense rules we all think we know.
Yeah, it's funny. Safety often gets this reputation, doesn't it? Like it's just a pile of regulations, maybe a bit dry even.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's so much more than that. It's absolutely critical. It impacts every single one of us. And honestly, there's a lot more nuance to it.
Hmm.
So today we're doing a deep dive into the really crucial and actually quite fascinating world of workplace health and safety.
That's right. And we've got some great material to draw from, specifically excerpts from Workplace Safety Interview, questions and answers.
Okay.
And our mission today really is to get past that surface level stuff. We want to equip you with the foundational understanding, the definitions, the systems, the practical bits that really underpin effective safety.
Right.
This isn't just about ticking boxes for compliance, though that's part of it. It's about getting the why behind it all, giving you insights that'll help you navigate any environment more safely.
Whether that's a construction site or, like you said, even just a home office.
Exactly. Even your home office has risks.
And we promise you'll walk away with some genuinely surprising facts, maybe some practical nuggets too. The goal is to cut through all the noise, the information overload, and leave you feeling properly well-informed on this vital topic.
Definitely.
So let's unpack this.
Okay.
So an integral thought from our source material kind of sets the stage nicely. It says, while safety is always a priority, it's more paramount in certain industries.
Makes sense.
Yeah, think about places with heavy machinery, dangerous chemicals, specialized tools, that sort of thing.
Right. Obvious high-risk zones.
But here's the kicker. Even a place that seems safe, like a standard office, it still has its own hazards, maybe different kinds, but they're there.
That's such a crucial point, and our material really emphasizes that workplace health and safety, while they're fundamental responsibilities for employers, both moral and legal responsibilities, actually.
Moral and legal. Okay.
Yeah. And it stresses that having detailed policies, good training, ongoing education, this isn't just, bureaucratic stuff. It's essential. It helps reduce errors, prevent injuries, lessen health issues.
Which must have a knock-on effect.
Absolutely. The ripple effect is it actually increases overall productivity and efficiency. Safer workplaces tend to be more effective workplaces.
Okay, so if we're going to really dig into safety, we need to be clear on the language, right? What does safety even mean fundamentally?
Good question. Our source gives us some really precise definitions. It's quite helpful, actually.
Lay them on us.
All right. So safety itself, defined as freedom from hazard, risk, and accidents that may cause injury, damage, and loss to property, materials, or, tragically, even cause death.
Freedom from hazard, risk, and accidents.
Oh, okay. Or maybe a bit broader, freedom from that condition that can cause injury to persons, including death or damage to property or environment, covers all the bases.
Got it. Then what about hazard? Is that just anything dangerous?
Not quite. It's more specific. A hazard is an inherent property of a substance or an occurrence that has the potential to cause loss or damage. Again, to property, people, or the environment, it's the potential within something.
The potential. Okay. So the electricity itself isn't the hazard, but its potential to shock is.
Sort of, yes. Or maybe the faulty wiring is the hazard because it has the inherent potential to cause a shock or fire. Following that is risk.
Which is?
Risk clarifies the likelihood of that hazard actually causing harm. It's the probability of the realization of the potential for loss, damage, or injury. So how likely is that faulty wire to actually hurt someone? That's the risk level.
Hazard is the potential, risk is the probability. Makes sense.
And here's where the definitions get really interesting, distinguishing terms we often use interchangeably, like accident.
Right, what is the official line?
An accident is an unexpected or unplanned event that may or may not result in injury or damage or property loss or death. The key is unexpected or unplanned.
Okay, and how's that different from an incident?
Ah, good one. An incident is slightly different. It's an event that represents a deviation from the intended sequence of designed steps.
A deviation, like a near miss, or something going slightly wrong.
Exactly. It could be a near miss, or maybe a small procedural error that didn't cause harm this time, but showed a flaw in the system. And finally, injury is pretty straightforward. A harmful condition sustained by the body as a result of an accident.
Wow.
What's
This-
truly fascinating here, I think, is how nailing down these definitions, like the difference between accident and incident, isn't just wordplay.
It forces you to think differently.
Precisely. It forces us to look upstream. An incident That deviation you mentioned means we can analyze the system that allowed it. Why did we deviate from the plan? We're not just reacting to an injury after the fact.
So you can fix the system before a real accident happens.
That's where the real power for prevention lies. Understanding the nuances helps you target the root cause.
Okay, so we've broken down the fundamental language. That's the groundwork. But, understanding terms is one thing. Actually, building a culture of safety in a company, that's the big challenge, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's where the systems come in.
What are the core systems our source points to? How do organizations actually do this?
Well, it really starts at the top with a robust safety policy. Our material puts it plainly. Any company has a social and legal obligation to provide a safe and healthy working environment to all employees.
So it's a statement of intent.
Exactly. It's more than just words on paper, ideally. It sets the tone, shows commitment from leadership down. That's foundational.
And from that policy, you need the how-to, right? The program.
Precisely. A safety program outlines the practical methods. And the material we're looking at uses a really neat framework, the 5 E's. Have you heard of this?
That's IDs. No, what are they?
It's engineering, education, enforcement, enthusiasm, and example.
Huh. Engineering, education, enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those make sense. But enthusiasm and example.
Yeah. Enthusiasm is about fostering genuine buy-in, making safety positive, not just a chore. And example means leadership walking the talk. It's quite a holistic approach, really.
I like that. It's not just rules. Okay, so you have the policy, the program. How do you know if it's actually working?
That's where the safety audit comes in. This is a really critical oversight tool. The source describes it as the process that identifies unsafe conditions and unsafe acts in the plant and recommends safety improvements.
So checking up on things.
Basically, yes. But it's not just one type of checkup. There's the walkthrough, what you can spot just by looking around.
Okay.
Then there's an intermediate audit, which might involve digging into the design docs, reviewing operating procedures more closely.
More in depth?
Right. And then the comprehensive audit, that's the real deep dive, involving proper engineering analysis, maybe testing, taking measurements, much more rigorous.
Okay, that makes sense. Policy, program, audit. Are there other key pieces our source mentions?
Yeah, a few other interesting aspects that feed into this whole safety ecosystem. One is attitude.
Attitude. How do they define that?
It's described as continuous behavior. The underlying idea is if someone's basic mindset, their behavior pattern is safety conscious, their actions will tend to be correct and safe naturally. It's about embedding it.
Right, it becomes second nature.
Hopefully. Then there's emergency planning. Super important. Our source calls it a control measure, designed to control accidents, safeguard people, and provide information to media if something major does happen.
You have to plan for the worst, hope for the best.
Exactly. And think about things like a work permit system.
Oh yeah, permits to work.
Right. A formal written document giving permission for a specific, often hazardous job, issued by whoever's in charge of that area. It ensures checks are done before work starts.
Like for confined space entry or hot work?
Typically, yes. And another specific item mentioned is the safety tag.
A tag? Like a warning label?
Essentially, yeah. But it's defined quite specifically. A surface made of cardboard or paperboard on which English local languages letters are written for warning safety instructions to employees. So a physical tag placed right at the point of need, often multilingual.
Very practical.
Very. And if you step back and look at all these pieces, the policy, the program, the audits, attitude, planning, permits, tags.
They all connect.
Exactly. They're not isolated things. They form this comprehensive framework, this whole ecosystem for managing safety proactively. Each part reinforces the others.
Okay, that paints a clearer picture of the overall structure. But this ecosystem, obviously, it plays out in real places with real tasks. So let's zoom in now. How do these principles actually apply on the ground? Our source gets pretty specific here, right?
It does, yeah. It defines a whole range of common workplace environments and tasks, especially in industrial or construction settings. For instance, work at height. Seems obvious, but it defines it as any work above 2 meters from ground.
2 meters, okay, that's a clear threshold.
Gives a specific point for extra precautions. Then there's confined space. It's described as an area which is small and enclosed, or an area where one entry and exits, or where a man cannot work comfortable in any location. Basically restricted and potentially dangerous.
Right, places where air quality or escape could be an issue.
Exactly. Excavation is defined simply as marking a hole or tunnel by digging the ground by man or machine.
Straightforward enough.
Then you get into specific equipment and processes. like scaffolding.
Ah, yes, temporary structures.
Right. A temporary platform constructed for supporting both men and materials and working safety at a construction site. Keyword, safety.
And welding.
That's the process of joining of metals either by electrical or by gas. Pretty standard. And closely related, gas cutting is the process of cutting metals by using oxygen and combustible gas.
Okay, so joining or cutting with heat.
Precisely. Then there's stuff like sandblasting.
For cleaning surfaces.
Yeah. The process of removing rust, dust, dirt, scales, and old prints from the old surface using compressed air. Followed often by painting, simply defined as the process after sandblasting.
Logical sequence.
Then some technical terms. LEL and UAL, that's lower and upper explosive limit.
For flammable atmospheres.
Exactly. The minimum and maximum concentration of, say, a vapor or gas in the air that will allow it to ignite or explode, absolutely critical numbers in many industries.
Definitely. What else?
Manual handling seems simple, but defined as the process of lifting, carrying, and stacking materials by men. We'll come back to the risks there later.
Okay.
And something often underestimated, housekeeping.
Just tidying up.
More than that, it's not only cleanliness, but also orderly arrangement of operations, tools, equipment, storage facilities, and suppliers. Orderliness is key to safety.
Good point. A messy site is a hazardous site.
Totally. And of course, personal protective equipment, or PPE.
Helmets, gloves, goggles.
All that stuff. Defined as equipment used to protect the person from hazards such dust, dirt, fumes, and sparks, etc. It is the barrier between hazard and person.
The last line of defense.
Ideally, yes. And a key point the source makes is that employers should provide this at no cost to the worker. That's often a legal requirement.
Right. Important point. Any other specific tasks?
A few more mentioned. Grinding, using a portable machine with a wheel guard in position to reduce the danger. Crane operations, using a tall machine used for moving heavy objects. And forklift trucks, designed to handle heavy loads.
Standard industrial equipment.
And finally, JSA, or job safety analysis. This is a procedure, the procedure of analyzing job for the specific purpose of finding the hazards and developing control. So analyzing tasks before doing them.
Proactive again.
Always the goal.
You know, hearing all these specific definitions laid out, it really paints a vivid picture, doesn't it? It shows the sheer variety of risks that people manage every day. It goes way beyond just a general idea of being careful.
Absolutely. It highlights the need for specific knowledge and specific precautions for each situation.
And that leads perfectly into the next point, which is that safety isn't just about rules and gear. It's fundamentally about people, the roles they play. Our source details the duties of key personnel, right?
It does. It lays out the duties of a safety officer, for example. And it's quite a list.
Like what?
Things like preparing toolbox talks, those short safety briefings, compiling monthly statistics, writing up accident reports.
The analytical side.
Yeah, and the communication side, too. Arranging safety classes and training, inspecting fire extinguishers, organizing first aid training.
So training and preparedness.
Definitely. And even things like setting up safety competitions, quizzes, slogan contests, poster exhibitions. Trying to embed that safety culture in engaging ways.
Trying to build that enthusiasm E from earlier.
Exactly. And then you have the duties of a supervisor. This is often the person on the front lines making safety happen day to day.
What are their key responsibilities according to the source?
Well, they have to instruct workers on the right methods and procedures, maintain discipline, make sure people have the necessary materials, and PPE.
Practical oversight.
Very practical. Plus, controlling quality and cost, guiding workers correctly and safely, holding regular safety meetings and doing inspections, knowing the firefighting equipment.
They need to know a lot.
They really do. And, critically, investigating accidents to find the root causes, not just blame.
It seems like these roles are designed to mesh together, don't they? The safety officer doing the planning, training, analysis, and the supervisor doing the direct implementation, instruction, and monitoring.
That's exactly it. They should complement each other perfectly. The officer provides the framework and resources. The supervisor ensures it's applied correctly on the job and feeds back information about what's really happening. It creates this loop.
Yeah, but continuous improvement loop, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the systems, the roles. Let's get really practical now.
Down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah. Our source dives into specific precautions and hazards for common tasks. This is where you see just how detailed safety thinking needs to be. It really makes you appreciate what those officers and supervisors are juggling.
It really does. Let's take welding, for instance. We mentioned PPE, like gloves and goggles, earlier.
Right.
But the precautions go way beyond that. You need to remove all combustible material from the area, cover wooden floors with fireproof mats, use fire-resistant screens.
Creating a safe zone?
Exactly.
Right.
Ensuring cables are properly insulated, double-earthed, having fire extinguishers and buckets of sand nearby, ready to go.
Multiple layers of protection.
Yes. And technical things, too, like ensuring flashback arresters are attached to the gas cylinders. Proper training, good ventilation, no smoking, barricading the area. It's a long checklist.
It really shows that safety isn't just about the welder. It's about controlling the entire environment and the equipment.
Precisely. And then think about manual handling. This applies everywhere, not just heavy industry.
Lifting boxes in an office, moving furniture.
Anything like that. The risks are clear. Cuts from sharp edges, burns from hot items, foot injuries if you drop something, back injuries like slip discs from bad posture, strains, sprains.
Common injuries, unfortunately.
Very common. And our source says accidents often happen because of improper lifting, trying to carry too much, bad grip, not using PPE like gloves or safety shoes, or lifting awkward, greasy things, or sometimes just poor physical condition for the task.
So what are the specific precautions? It's not just lift with your knees, is it?
That's part of it, but it's more detailed. Plan the lift first. Clear the path you'll take. Get in close to the load. Secure your grip. Keep your head up. Maintain the natural curves of your spine.
Don't slouch or hunch over it.
Right. Power the lift with your legs and body weight, not your back muscles. And crucially, don't twist while lifting or carrying. Move your feet instead.
Okay, that's good practical advice. Plan, clear path, close in, good grip, head up, straight back, use legs, don't twist.
Sounds simple laid out like that, but improper manual handling is a massive cause of workplace injuries. It really highlights how even seemingly basic tasks need careful technique.
Absolutely. And what about the backbone of almost everything now, electricity?
Electrical work. The source is very strict here. All installations must follow the rules. Only competent, qualified people should do electrical work, full stop.
No DIY repairs on major equipment.
Definitely not. Proper earthing is essential. Temporary lines need to be strung safely above head height. Cables must be fully insulated, no dodgy joints taped up, only one connection per socket.
Basic rules, but easily broken.
They are. And good housekeeping around electrical areas, fire protection nearby, using the right PPE like rubber gloves, rubber boots if necessary, good quality wires, power isolation close to the job.
So you can cut the power quickly if needed.
Right. Using 3-pin plugs. And the big one. Never operate electrical equipment with wet hands or standing on wet surfaces. Use proper warning signs. No working on live conductors unless absolutely unavoidable and with extreme precautions.
And a good point here. Ensure the person who switches off the power is the same person who switches it back on. Prevents nasty surprises.
Critical control measure, that one. It's all about control, competence, and respecting the hazard.
Definitely. Okay, one more big area. Construction. That must combine loads of these hazards.
Oh, absolutely. The source lists a whole raft of potential hazards in construction. Falls from height people or objects, falling materials causing damage, people falling into excavations.
Trench collapse.
Huge risk. Soil collapse causing injury or death. Damage to underground cables or pipes during digging. Scaffolding collapse. Electrical shock, fire, explosion, burns.
The list goes on.
It does. Health issues like lung problems from dust. Even things you might not immediately think of, like snake bites in some areas or exposure to poisonous gases, foreign objects and eyes. It's a complex environment.
It sounds like it. So many moving parts, so many potential points of failure.
And the causes of accidents are often related. Equipment failure during erection, those falls from height, electrical issues, poor lighting, people working when fatigued, unsafe methods, trench collapse, not using safety gear like harnesses.
It's a tough environment to manage safely.
It requires constant vigilance.
You know, looking at this whole collection of specific precautions and hazards for welding, manual handling, electrical construction,
Yeah.
it really drives home that safety isn't just some vague, broad idea. It is meticulous. It's attention to every single potential point of failure.
That's a great way to put it. Meticulous attention. Often needing multiple layers of control, engineering controls, administrative procedures, and then the PPE as the last resort.
Wow. We've really covered a lot of ground today.
We certainly have.
We went from the basic building blocks, those core definitions of safety, hazard, risk, all the way through to the complex systems organizations use, policies, programs, audits.
Looked at the vital roles of safety officers and supervisors, how they work together.
Yeah. And then we got right down into the weeds with specific granular precautions for everyday but potentially dangerous tasks. Welding, lifting, electrical work, construction.
It gives you a real appreciation for what goes into it.
It really does. So hopefully you listening now have a much more comprehensive understanding of what it takes to create and maintain a genuinely safe environment.
Yeah, we hope this deep dive hasn't just, given you information, but actually equipped you to look at your own surroundings differently.
How so?
Well, whether you're at home or in an office, maybe on a job site, hopefully you can now look around with a more critical, more safety-conscious eye. Spot things you might not have noticed before.
That makes sense. So what does this all mean then? The takeaway.
I think it means you're better prepared now. Better prepared to identify hazards and risks yourself, to understand the kinds of systems that should be in place to manage them.
And maybe appreciate the proactive, diligent effort that goes into keeping people safe day in, day out. It's not accidental.
Definitely not accidental. It requires constant work.
Okay, so a final thought for you, our listener, to maybe ponder on.
Yeah, given the sheer breadth of stuff we talked about today, all those hazards, all those precautions, what's the one single safety principle or maybe just a specific detail that really resonated most with you?
And maybe think about how you could apply that specific thought, that principle, to a situation in your own life, at work, or even at home, just to make it that a little bit safer.
Something practical to take away and maybe put into action.